tribe, the apes, and a collection of scheming criminals. But what's important is that it also shows how ERB allowed his female characters to evolve. Jane, in particular, whom readers encountered in the first Tarzan book as a gentle creature trapped in an unforgiving world, but who, by this novel, has become self-reliant and a stronger, more capable person. Though I never met him, I recognize the incredible imagination that ERB had, giving readers a pass into the fantasy of living like Tarzan or John Carter or any of his heroes, primitive, fearless, wild, and the tenacity to enjoy life. Dan, whom we lost far too young in 2008, had immense pride in everything his grandfather accomplished, and felt a sense of honor in carrying on the name Burroughs. Deja, Lana, and I are so grateful that we're connected to this vital legacy that ERB created, and to which Danton contributed so much. A heritage that will always be shared by the extended family that ERB's novels brought together. Linda Burroughs, January 2020. Chapter 1. Belgian and Arab. Lieutenant Albert Werper had only the prestige of the name he had dishonored to thank for his narrow escape from being cashiered. At first, he had been humbly thankful, too, that they had sent him to this god-forsaken Congo post instead of court-martialing him, as he had so justly deserved. But now, 6 months of the monotony, the frightful isolation, and the loneliness had wrought a change. The young man brooded continually over his fate. His days were filled with morbid self-pity, which eventually engendered in his weak and vacillating mind a hatred for those who had sent him here, for the very men he had at first inwardly thanked for saving him from the ignominy of degradation. He regretted the gay life of Brussels as he never had regretted the sins which had snatched him from the gayest of capitals, and as the days passed, he came to center his resentment upon the representative in Congoland of the authority which had exiled him, his captain and immediate superior. This officer was a cold, taciturn man, inspiring little love in those directly beneath him, yet respected and feared by the black soldiers of his little command. Werper was accustomed to sit for hours glaring at his superior as the two sat upon the veranda of their common quarters, smoking their evening cigarettes in a silence which neither seemed desirous of breaking. The senseless hatred of the lieutenant grew at last into a form of mania. The captain's natural taciturnity he distorted into a studied attempt to insult him because of his past shortcomings. He imagined that his superior held him in contempt, and so he chafed and fumed inwardly until one evening his madness became suddenly homicidal. He fingered the butt of the revolver at his hip. His eyes narrowed and his brows contracted. At last he spoke. "You have insulted me for the last time," he cried, springing to his feet. "I am an officer and a gentleman, and I shall put up with it no longer without an accounting from you, you pig." The captain, an expression of surprise upon his features, turned toward his junior. He had seen men before with the jungle madness upon them, the madness of solitude and unrestrained brooding, and perhaps a touch of fever. He rose and extended his hand to lay it upon the other's shoulder. Quiet words of counsel were upon his lips, but they were never spoken. Werper construed his superior's action into an attempt to close with him. His revolver was on a level with the captain's heart, and the latter had taken but a step when Werper pulled the trigger. Without a moan, the man sank to the rough planking of the veranda, and as he fell, the mists that had clouded Werper's brain lifted, so that he saw himself and the deed that he had done in the same light that those who must judge him would see them. He heard excited exclamations from the quarters of the soldiers, and he heard men running in his direction. They would seize him, and if they didn't kill him, they would take him down the Congo to a point where a properly ordered military tribunal would do so just as effectively, though in a more regular manner. Werper hadn't